We're going to go from your new stomping grounds and we're going to check out your old stomping grounds now. That's right, because we're going to get a taste of some Gridiron Glory right now. And with that, we are going to welcome in Evan Johnson. We gave you a little sneak peek, a preview, and he was taking in a KMAC team in Mount Gilead, and they were on the road against Grove City Christian tonight. So give me some details, Evan. What was the juice heading into this contest?
Well, for starters, being in Athens, Ohio, I don't think I ever expected to go see a Mount Gilead football game this year, but I was really excited to. Both of these teams undefeated, both of these teams in Region 23, so maybe some playoff implications later, but these two offenses are kind of complete polar opposites, and that was something I was looking forward to see. Obviously, Mount Gilead with their ground and pound style, and Grove City Christian is really big on the air raid this year.
All right, let's see how it all shook out tonight for the Indians on the road.
So yeah, getting this started off, we just talked about how Mount Gilead runs the ball all the time, but they're going to let it fly in the first quarter, go up and get me a ball, takes it to the crib, and that was the first touchdown of the game. Mount Gilead up 7-0, but this time with a nice fake, Douglas Housley is going to take it to the house by himself, but this is kind of what Mount Gilead went back to all night long, just running the ball up the middle, getting those big chunk yards of just trying to get first downs on fourth down, third downs. But here we go. The Eagles showing off the range, and I guarantee the camera person is okay after that one. But Mount Gilead is able to keep the ball rolling on the ground. They'll punch one in. And really the defense is what got to Grove City tonight. They were unable to kind of make any of those big plays down the stretch. And Mount Gilead was just making plays all over. And they get in their third touchdown of the game and win this one 21-7.
All right, let's talk about the Eagles a little bit because the schedule doesn't get much easier for them. They got Bishop Rosecrans coming up, then they got Miller, and then Grandview Heights a couple of weeks after that. All undefeated right now on the season, Evan. So in terms of like bouncing back, getting their act together, do you see this team having the potential to be competitive during the middle chunk of the season?
I really do. They won the MSL Cardinal last year, and they're kind of expected to do the same this year. Last year, they were a running team. The running back graduates. Now they have to go to the passing game. They have a really big defense, a lot of big defensive linemen. They all graduate. So now they have this smaller defense that they have to work with. I think it's going to take them those few weeks to kind of start meshing and learning this new style of football they're playing, kind of switching both sides of the ball around. So I think they'll start to figure things out, and if they can get some of these conference wins rolling, I think they'll be just fine.
And then for Mount Gilead, we talked to Coach Reid last week, I believe, on the show, and he said this is the first time we've been 2-0 in a long time. Now they're 3-0. They're going to have to go way back in the history books to see when the last time the Indians were able to accomplish that. So putting the pieces together this season, how do you see this puzzle all just coming together for them so far in the early portion of the season?
Well, I also got to talk to Coach Reid tonight. I love Coach Reid. It was great talking to him. And the one thing that stuck out to me was not anything about the skill sets of this team. He talked about the chemistry. He said this is some of the best chemistry he's seen in a team, and this is obviously his 5th season. So he's really got his culture down. He's got his guys believing in the program, believing in what they're playing in, and you could just really tell that they were one unit playing on the field tonight. And I think that just having that chemistry and that off-field culture is really going to carry them throughout this season. They obviously have the talented guys like Carson Barnum, who's just going to run through you. They showed off they can throw the ball if they have to. And so I think they'll be a big threat for a lot of teams.
Yeah, what an exciting time right now to be a fan down there on the reservation. And they got a huge one coming up. They're going to be at home next week against the defending KMAC champs in Danville. So very much looking forward to seeing how they compete in that one. And always love seeing you here bringing some Gridiron Glory to the show, Mr. Johnson.